video is gonna be a little bit different. It's on my phone today because I got a new one thanks to my sister. So today's video is gonna be the part 2. It's gonna be how I dealt with my mom's death and everything like that. And I'm just gonna get right into it. So on the last video I left off on how I dealt with it. After the whole situation, we obviously had to have like a funeral. It wasn't really a funeral because there was no viewing. My mom wanted to be cremated. She didn't want to be in the ground. She had said that forever, and yeah, so we didn't put her in the ground. We cremated her, and we had a little service at church with her ashes. And also after the little service at church, we had what people call a wake, and at the wake is when I was out of it. Mentally, I was not there. Like I remember bits and pieces, but I mainly remember my family fighting. How annoying, right? I mainly remember that we were at my house doing this wake. There was a lot of people, but everybody's drinking. And I remember that, my uncle, my brother-in-law, they kind of clash when they're both drinking. So we left my house because they were both drinking. You could feel the tension in the air, or maybe it wasn't tension, maybe everybody was angry. My mom had just passed away, So basically that was that. We went to my aunt's house and we continued the wake there. At my aunt's house, I remember being bored. I was sitting there, watching everybody drink their pain away, basically, because that's what everybody was doing. Not saying nothing bad, I'm just saying that's what they were doing. And everybody copes differently. So I'm obviously young. I can't drink my pain away. I can't sit there and be gone for a while. I'm young. So I just remember my family doing that. And to top it all off, I don't remember what happened, but I remember that my grandma may have told me something that sounded disrespectful. I don't remember. And I just remember my cousin telling me, I don't like the way she talked to you. I don't think you deserve to be talked to like that. So that started a whole another problem with my grandma and my aunt and my cousin and my uncle, because they were already arguing about who was gonna take me. And it was it just became a problem that was annoying for me, And after that problem didn't go away for a while. But I know that after that problem, I basically didn't deal with my mother's death in the right way, because I was always fighting at school. I was always getting in trouble. I was always acting out, basically, and it was because of that. I don't like to say, oh, it's the problem's fault that I got in trouble, because it was my fault. I was trying to act out on what I was feeling, and I shouldn't have done that. I would also have counseling every Monday and every Wednesday, from when my mom passed away, to like summer, because my mom passed away when I was about to start, when 5th grade was about to finish. So it was 2 summers, so like for a month. And then 6th grade, I didn't receive counseling until the very end of the year, so maybe like 2 months of counseling as well, every Monday and Wednesday also. And counseling honestly helped. I feel like my sisters struggle, my family struggles with anxiety, with depression, with a lot of things like that, and I do too, but I don't suffer as bad as they do. And I feel like the reason for that is because they never talk to anybody about how they feel, about, you know, everything that death made them feel like. I feel like they never just let it all out, and I feel like they need that. But for me, the coping was doing that, talking about it. And sometimes just crying in your room by yourself, that helps too. Like, you need to find that space where you're kind of okay, you know, where you're kind of okay with just getting it done, you know. You're kind of okay with like, okay, I need to take a breather, I need to calm down, stuff like that. I am that person. I try to, you know, remain sane. And back then, you know, like I said, I didn't cope well. I was always fighting, I was always acting out, I was always basically stressing my grandma out, because my grandma was the one who had to come to the school all the time and talk to the principal. So yeah, but how I dealt with it, I mean, I'm still dealing with it. I still have days where, you know, I kind of freak out, because I forget. I honestly do. I forget how my mom's voice sounds, how her face looks. Sometimes when I look at pictures, I kind of don't recognize the person, and that kind of scares me. That kind of gives me like the feeling that I'm about to get a panic attack, because I don't know, like, I don't know, you know. And it kind of scares me. It really does. But I feel like that's just a part of the process. You know, and I try to, now I talk to God a lot about my feelings, about everything, because I feel like when I didn't do that, I was at a standstill, and I was always in the same spot, and I would never move. And now I feel like when I talk to God about my feelings, and the way, if I feel sad, or if I feel something like something about to take over my body, which is like depression, I talk to him about it, and it immediately goes away, because this is something that I cannot change. Me being hateful and mean just to express myself doesn't change anything. It doesn't bring my mom back. It doesn't help me at all. It makes me feel worse, in fact. And I just decided, like, I need to learn to deal with it, because this is something, maybe, I don't know, maybe I am gonna be dealing with this for the rest of my life. The feeling of emptiness when it comes to having parents, because I don't have a mom and I don't have a dad. And I had my mom for very little time, in my opinion, and my dad as well, had him for very little time. And I just feel like, you know, it's a lot to deal with sometimes. I have work, I have school, I have things to do, and I feel like that's also a thing. Even though they say distractions aren't good, I feel like there are good distractions. Like, obviously smoking, drinking, doing all that kind of stuff for distraction is not good. But obviously when you work and you're going to school and you're trying to better yourself, and that's a distraction, I feel like that's a good distraction. I feel like you're trying to help yourself, you know. So this video is gonna be short. This is the part 2 to the part 1 that I posted. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.